In the biblical book of Exodus, there is a man named Abraham instructed by God to sacrifice his only son Isaac. He takes him to the mountaintop, binds him to the rock, reveals the death instrument to drain his body, braces for the incision, and then a ram appears in the bush. The angel appears also and says, "Now I know you fear God. You shall kill the ram instead." The ram becomes the burnt offering. The boy becomes a boy again. Growing up, I was always taught to mimic Abraham, to be willing to let go of anything in the name of holiness, to learn that blood may be thicker than holy water, but faith will always be thicker than blood. But what of the child? What of his trauma, a product of faith, how he almost lost himself at the hands of his own father, went home that night cloaked in near death and silence. To be a pastor's kid is to lie bound in the sun with no ram in the bush, to leave your own identity at the altar and return home to a refuge of longing, to carpets all lifted from the secret stuffed beneath them. The word home is a forgotten holy book, and I am stuck between its pages, the kind of comfort that will crucify you and keep you warm at the same time. To be a pastor's kid is to always be the burnt offering. Trade quality time for teaching, trade friendships for faith, trade a coming out story for a year in silence, lose yourself at the hands of your own father. The bishop says, "Hide me behind the cross and nobody hears, my family is already there." He tells the church to say amen and his own children shake in silence. The bishop preaches love from the altar and a rainbow commands the back pew, waiting to become a daughter again. We learn from scripture that God sent his only son to suffer, that a child without a father is lost, but a father with a sacrificed child is still a God, which simply means a father will always be worshipped, even when his children are doing all the magic, even when his children go under the knife for the sake of the calling, even when their sacrifice isn't as glorious as the crucifixion. When Isaac was at that mountaintop, he did not try to escape, not because he was okay with dying, but because no one would have noticed him anyway. And this is the concept of sacrifice, a loneliness written in stone, a father blinded by his own faith, the ministry playing the part of the blade, and children still waiting for a ram to save them. Thank you.